Hi folks, I hope you're well. So the video talking about from 1914 to 1966. Yeah, the fall on the way, as is described in 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 3. Yes. Yeah. So it says on the title of that one is why the church went to the world's ways, as in the fall on the way. Yes. But I only gave a tiny bit really of what was going on in the world at that point in time, because we had at that time, within that window of time, it's a tiny window of time. 52 years. 52 years is a time. I've been alive longer than that. It's a tiny window of time. So in that time, you had the First World War, you had the Great Depression, you had the Second World War, you had the Vietnam War, you had President Kennedy being assassinated. The amount of horror that the world saw during that time. Basically, the world saw the devil. It saw greed, it saw hatred. And so, yeah, understandable that they come up with the idea is God dead? Because what they're seeing mainly in the world, and have been seeing for a long time, is what's considered as evil. 52 years. I mean, the Great Depression was horrendous for the people in it. Wasn't really. I mean, come on. And that lasted from 1929 to 1939. 10 years. 10 years. Wow. It's a long time, isn't it? For people to be struggling for food. After coming back from the First World War with whatever trauma you came back with, you then have that. So you've been kicked, and just as you start to get back up again, bang, the Great Depression. Just as you start getting used to that, the Second World War. Yeah. Let's say from the Second World War to the Vietnam War. How much time? Not a lot, is there? 45 till when? America really got involved and escalated in 1963. So, yeah. 18 years. 18 years. The world has seen the horrors of World War II. 18 years later, again. Just enough time for male children to get old enough to be able to fight in the war. Because, in America, in other nations, the male population was decimated by the Second World War. So just enough time to raise some more men to slaughter. And that's why, whenever I hear the discussion about women's rights and how unfair things have been to women, sod off. Sod off. You're talking complete crap. Men had to go to war. Women complain that if they weren't educated or rich or powerful in some way, they would get used and abused by society. For goodness sake, men, if they weren't rich and powerful and strong, they'd be on the front line. They'd be the first ones marching forward to be shot. For their lives to be sacrificed for God knows what. So, the younger generation now, yes, in a way for them, things aren't really, really bad. I did a video recently saying it's the best and the worst. You imagine, though, for goodness sake, if you were, what? If you were born around about 1905, 1904, what an awful life you'd have. Wow. But what a testing life you'd have. You would have the right to say that your life was absolutely bloody awful. You would have had the right to have said that. Oh, absolutely and totally, yes. You would have had the right. Because all that your life had sinned, from the time that you were old enough to recognise what was going on and to understand a little bit about it. Yeah. The First World War, the Great Depression, the Second World War. Trying to rebuild, and then the Vietnam War. My goodness me. 50 years. 52 years, yes. Yeah. Just terrible. And as I said the one last night, you cannot blame the people for panic deciding, for wanting something new, for wanting a new direction, for wanting to completely change the way things were. Because in the world there was darkness, so what do they want in church? Light. What do they want in church? No judgment. They wanted people to feel at home and people to feel safe in church, because in the world it was absolutely one of the most unsafe times possible. So as I say, can you blame these people? No. God wanted all of those things to happen exactly the way they did. And so it's not about blaming the people of those days. But what it is about is saying, okay, this is where we are. And not being stupid in thinking that the church is doing fantastically well right now. We are the falling away. Okay. We're in that time. So there you go. Yeah. Understand where you are and focus on your relationship with God. Not church, God. So, I wish you well. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.